made, for instance, your spouse is saying, I feel like God's saying we should, or maybe I feel like I think we should move to a new city, or he or she has got an opportunity for a job in a new city. You don't agree. How do you proceed?
Wow, that's a loaded question. I think there's different ways that you can approach a situation like that. I think there is the part of both parties getting to a point of clarity, about a particular decision. And I think there needs to be a place for that, where you allow your spouse to come into that place of clarity. Say, for example, like you said, one party feels like God is saying we should, or I want to. I think there's a place of allowing them to come alongside, because it's a partnership, right? At the end of the day, to come alongside and be able to come to that place of being convinced. There is that. That does not always happen in reality. And so there's a place of compromise as well. So I feel like marriage itself is a journey of compromise. And that's the beautiful thing about it. The beautiful thing about marriage is that there will be times where you are able to influence your partner of a particular direction, and there will be times where your partner will be able to influence you in a particular direction. I think that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is that hopefully you're both being led by God. And what that means is that there will be times where you really want to sort of spearhead the decision or drive them towards a particular goal that will hopefully be something that will benefit the whole family. So I feel like for us anyway, when it comes to decision making, what we figured out very quickly is that we're graced to make different types of decisions. And I think that helps, and that makes it simpler for us. So my wife is better at everyday decisions. And that's because she pays a lot more attention to detail than myself. And I know that. And so what it means is that, decision around what brand of bagel we eat, for example, I honestly don't care. I genuinely don't care. Like, I don't even know what the brands are. I can't even remember. I know what the color of the wrapper is, but I don't know the detail. But when it comes to more long-term or, I suppose, broader type decisions, I obsess over stuff like that. And she's more than happy to let me lead in that direction. Does that make sense? Now, lead does not mean I make a decision. Actually, what we find is that a lot of times, I just do all of the groundwork. So, for example, we want to change our car. Like, my wife is not going to do one Google. She would not she would let me do all of the searching, all of the calls, every single thing, and I'll bring it back and be like, babe, this is all I found. And then she helps with the decision in that sense. But she lets you express your grace and use your passion and use your influence and use everything that you feel like you have to be able to take along that journey. And I take a step back when it comes to making the everyday decision, because I know, again, chances are she's paid a lot more attention to the smaller details and the smaller grades and let her lead in that direction. And that allows it to feel like a partnership. It doesn't feel like one person is always making a decision. We're jointly making decisions, and we're jointly influencing each other. It's just that one person is allowing themselves to demonstrate their grace at the particular time. So.
Wonderful. Did you want to add anything? Before you add anything, I'm going to drive this question a little bit further by saying, so what do you do when, let's say, for instance, so you've demonstrated a grace in terms of you've looked for a car, you've seen that this is the best. Julie comes back and say, actually, based on everything you brought to me, the one that you think is best, I don't think we can afford it. I think it's an unwise decision. So I really want you to hone in on when there is a clear disagreement in terms of, I think this is the wrong decision, and the other party thinks, I think this is the right decision. How do we proceed at that crossroad?
No, definitely a good question. And I think that one of the things that I will say is, so I can give an example based on how we work that out. but it could be different for lots of different people. So the caveat to that would be like, God has to be the one that's leading. And I would always say that, you know, we hear the words that we talk about, God is not author of confusion, and that is true. You know, I always feel like if there is strife and we're just not agreeing on something, I always pay more attention to like, why is it that we're not agreeing in terms of that, and rather than focus on the decision making itself. Sometimes it's because it's not time yet. Sometimes it's because God is using that as an ability to kind of delay you before you make that decision. So it's just pay more attention spiritually to the reasons why you're not agreeing. But for us personally, we don't proceed. That's what we've agreed on. That's our agreement. But it's painful, especially when you're the one and you feel like you've done all the work. So usually it's BK now, but you know. So one of the things I was going to say is actually working to your strengths and actually understanding how your partner receives information is really important. So I like to see things visually. I feel more confident knowing that A has been checked, B has been checked, C has been checked, and then, okay, this is the variety now I can choose from it, rather than this is the decision I'm going for it. Picking those 99%, that's not going to work. If you say this is what we're doing here, we're going to be here for a long time, because we've come to an agreement that until I agree and he agrees, we don't proceed with that decision. So for his sake, he does all the work, brings it, you know, to me, and he's done all the research sort of thing. So that's what we've agreed on. We don't proceed on that, whatever it is. And as much as it might be hard, it might be difficult, we trust God's leading in both of our lives. So it's not just that one person hears from God. We trust that we both hear from God. And if truly the decision you're trying to make is for your family, not for just your benefit, then I think you will wait. I think you will be patient and allow God to actually speak to the other person. And the final thing, I feel like I always come back to this, but this has worked for me time and time again. I get on my knees and I pray. And I say, God, this thing I'm about to say to BK, he's probably not going to receive it well, knowing the husband that I have. But God, please, as I'm opening my mouth, just speak through me. As I'm saying the things I'm going to say, don't let him just see me, but let him hear from you, let it resonate in the spirit, man. And that really, really works. And so that's another thing that I would say, but let's not ignore the place and the power of prayer in some of these decision making as well.
I love that.
I think on a practical note, I just want to give an example of a direct example.
So a direct example, actually one that happened with the car. I think, so when we were going to get one of the last cars, right? I was trying to convince her about something. I did all the work. She said no lots of times. And eventually she said yes. Yeah. Eventually she said yes. Okay, cool. Fine, let's go check it out. Because we're not buying here, we're just going to check it out, right? And we were driving, I don't know if you remember, we were driving, and she said yes. So I was okay, we'll go, and we're heading to the direction. And I you know, like when you know your wife is kind of hesitating, you can tell, right? So I'm looking at her and you know, she's not smiling, she's like, do you really want to do this? And she's like, yeah, it's all good. And as we were about to hit the motorway, right, I looked over again and I was like, babe, honestly, we don't have to go because I can feel the tension a little bit. And I literally just pulled up. I said, honestly, babe, I know, so I don't think we should do this unless we agree. Turn around, literally. And in that moment, I let go of every desire to want the car in that moment for the sake of agreement. And we were headed back up, literally. And that was it. I was like, yeah, cool, at some point. And she went, honestly, it's fine. I want us to go. I want us to go. And I was convinced that she said yes at that point. We turned back, went there, saw the car, liked the car.
Man, I love that. I'm going to say something that might be a little bit, I don't think it's controversial, but something that I've learned or has really helped me in our relationship. And I think when it comes to decision making, sometimes you have to give your spouse the freedom to fail. It depends on how it's painted, but sometimes I've learned that I think we've gotten to a place in our relationship where he trusts me fully. So when I say no, he stops. And that's because I built a track record with him. And part of building a track record with someone is that you give them room to make mistakes. Sometimes the mistake might be costly, and it's not, there are times where you want to say, I told you so, But then the response would be, let's pick the pieces back up together. And I found in our relationship, my husband having the freedom, or even me having the freedom to make mistakes and to see for myself that actually that may not have been, of course, like I know your spouse shouldn't do something that would be detrimental to your family. So I'm not saying give your spouse the room to make a mistake that's going to kill everybody, no. But there are some decisions that I may not agree with, but I'll say to my husband, you know what, let's go ahead and do it your way. I'm going to trust you on this one. Even if I don't fully agree or I don't wholeheartedly believe that that's the right way to go, the freedom to make decisions and make mistakes causes them to actually consult you more when there are decisions to be made. It gives them that safety and that ability to trust in you, trust in your heart towards them. So that's something that I've learned over the years, that there are some moments where you allow your spouse to make the decision, even if you don't fully agree, with the, not with the hope that it fails, but with the, just having it at the back of your mind that this may not work out and we're going to pick up the pieces together. So. Okay, next set of questions. Or you can pick any order, next category of question. We're going to do one or two more rounds of this, then we'll go to Slido. Is there more questions? Or should we go to the audience on this one? Audience, do you want to pick a category? Anybody, first one who shout something out, we'll go for it.
Which is the left from
all of them, they all be covered, so we can go back to anyone.
Finances, sex and intimacy, decision making, managing expectations, communication, parents, and individuals.
On
Salaries.
Okay, well, you asked your question, since you brought up, asked the question, when you say salary, can you elaborate?
Salaries, the wife that's more than you, and let's say your husband is not as driven as you, for example, you know, that kind of thing. How does that play out? And have you had that situation happen? Or have you had a situation where somebody doesn't work, doesn't have a job? How do you support them? So just kind of like, yeah, that.
Interesting. Okay, so I believe that the budget. No, I'm serious. No. So something that I spoke to a gentleman about, I said that if the wife earns more than the husband is making any less of a man or less of a husband than he is, I believe that people share the same view that ultimately, when money comes into the house, everyone wins. Okay. Yeah. You may get to marriage and think how money is making. You bought it, it's not fair. You started something that you're gonna share yourself at some point along the way, right? And I know that from the statistics, or at least from what I've seen, money is definitely one of the factors that contributes towards divorce, right? So if the wife earns more than the husband, the money that you both earn together is for the whole household, and the man is responsible for at least managing his home, right? And so, for example, like Paul says to Timothy that for ransom and husband, he must be able to manage his home well. Otherwise, how would he be entrusted to the house of God? So, manage the house of God. So, I believe that really the husband is responsible for managing his home. That's what I believe. It's not a thing of he earns more, shares more. Shares more. Wonderful. That's fantastic. Now, as far as children is concerned, or at least as far as like, because obviously the woman is at work and she's driven in that direction, then that's something that both of them have to discuss in terms of how they raise the children together, right? I think maybe bit more on that. Yeah, because there's a gentleman, for example, I spoke with, and he was happy to pursue a career in one direction, and his wife would be earning. And this, it's on the surface, it seems like, okay, but I have to think a bit more. And the thing is, if she's driven and she's got a career goal in mind, that's something again that we both have to have a discussion about in terms of the practicalities of raising the children. And also not just the children, but being present with one another as well. So it's very easy for one to be driven or even like to be so driven in his career that it's absolutely not. So that's something that both of you need to speak about. Some women, they're happy if the husband goes to Nigeria or somewhere and for business, do oil and gas, and then comes back. She's fine. Some others, they're like, no, I want my husband to be person at home. So it's something that both of you need to have a discussion about. But if the woman does go and take the husband in the US and vice versa, right, the value comes from the one that will be number one. And the husband is the one that manages. Your relationship is based on paycheck and paycheck, then cheap into marriage. So yeah.
It's amazing, right? I agree with everything he said. And I'm going to build on a point that he made as I come to answer the question as well. He gave a very key point on the role of the man being able to manage his home. And one of the skills or one of the qualities of a good manager is that they're able to find the best in the people around them and bring up that best. They should be able to see the strengths and the weaknesses and to emphasize the strengths and build up the weaknesses so they become strengths as well. And that's one key thing. And when it comes to salaries, I agree with everything he said. In our household, as shows already said, whoever comes in belongs to both of us. And on the practical note, I love the fact that we have a variety here because we have our individual accounts, but we have a joint account where all of the bills and everything comes out from. And what we do every month is that we have pocket money for both of us, and we also have miscellaneous funds. So we have the set things on the bills on the spreadsheet. We know what's coming in, what's coming out. But we also have an allowance for things that we're prepared for. Somebody needs to travel somewhere, they need this much funds, so we have that pot there as well. Birthday funds, we have that pot there, or the car needs to get fixed, we have that pot. But then we have our own individual pocket money, which is where the savings they come from. So for us, for example, we have family savings, and then we have individual savings. And in terms of salaries, I see firsthand what it's like when you have that idea of my money, his money, or his money is, sorry, ladies. If anyone else has had this mindset, please, it's not good. His money is his money. Sorry, no. My money is my money, and his money is our money. You just want the dad if you want that. Your husband, if you don't get married, so that going on this. You don't get married because you cannot afford to take care of yourself. Your husband is not a ticket to retirement. He isn't. And I'm not saying if the decision in your home is that your husband is a breadwinner, for instance, and he brings in all the money, that's fine. But if your desire is that somebody will alleviate poverty from your life, then you're looking at the wrong person. And I see this mentality and I'm quite passionate about this because I've spoken to a lot of women who are putting undue pressure on their husbands and sometimes boyfriends to provide a lifestyle that their father will give them. Your husband is not your ticket to freedom. He is not your ticket to a life of luxury. If he can provide that for you, fantastic. But I believe that if you both decided that you will work, then work, earn money, and contribute something to your home, and not just be someone who just is a leech and just takes. What are you bringing to the table as well? You know, I always say to my, not that I'm worries, but my desire, like, I want to retire this man so that he can go off and not like you, like I said, not a very hard working man. I want him to be able to go to, he wants to go to Iraq and I want to preach the gospel there. I want him to be able to go and not think about the bills that need to be paid in the house, because he knows that his wife works. His wife is a good steward. His wife is a good homemaker. His wife will take care of business whilst he's away. So women, please, do not put unnecessary pressure on your spouse to provide a lifestyle that is one, unrealistic, two, you cannot give yourself, three, your father cannot give you, and four, only God can provide. So why don't we look to God, the author and finisher of our faith, and leave these men alone and let them do the best that they can do and accept that they do. Amen. Sorry, guys, I didn't need to take over. I just wanted to put that out there.
So, try and follow your lead. As you were speaking on, this scripture just came to mind. The Bible says that show me a diligent man, old, and he or she will stand before kings, not just mere men. So show me a diligent man, woman, who will stand before kings. So it's as simple as that scripture says. Those that work hard get to stand before those who are decision makers. When God said to Adam, after the fall, that he tilled the ground, though he didn't say what the woman would do, said that she would bear children pain. You skip a few chapters down the Bible to the book of Proverbs, where it says that the wise woman, I can't remember where she does business, she builds her home, her children praise her at the gates, her husband praises her as well. So there's the indication that the woman, the very, very wise woman, was good with business. To be good with business means they were working. So, unlike how some people wanted to tell us, God was not the one who set our boundaries for where men and women go. And this is very, very new to me as a revelation. And this is cool because I've examined what the Word of God says. So the Word of God says that a man says that a woman will also do business. The communication is now very, very key to what man and woman will do for home. Even if a woman decides not to go and work traditionally or conventionally is no. I know we live in the 21st century nowadays where we do things online. Even back in the days when she wasn't going to the office. Have you ever tried to examine some people at home before? Oh, dishes where there weren't dishwashers before. Even now when there are dishwashers. The fact that the amount of children who used to have fucking babies, you see men going and doing great things in Latin. A lot of them spend time with their mothers. So that man or that woman becomes very trained by their home. It takes hard work to stay up and real children shouldn't be looked at. That's what some people, especially lawyers, they pay governesses to come and teach their children stuff. So I could make it, I could go on. So it's about communication between husband and wife as to what's going. And it's so interesting because money is a function of man, of man's God. And the Bible makes it clear that God also will things so does man. And then nowhere when God was giving a man and woman the instruction and the directions, was it mentioned anything to do with how much money someone was carrying. And I think this is why it's so important that we renew our minds with the word of God. Because a humble heart will not allow himself to ask God to do something that will make someone else feel in a certain way. I think that's so important. Where your heart is, the fact that a man can be proud of his wife, and she diligently works hard so that she stands before kings, or vice versa, is what it means to be.
So it's just one person.
Before we go, you have inside questions, so yeah.
Okay, so just a quick thing on the point of finances. One of the best analogies I've ever heard for marriage is that marriage is like a dance. And there is no way you can be in this unity and actually dance and actually enjoy the dance. Even in dances where both parties are doing something different, there is still a rhythm that they don't follow. There's a beat that they go follow. And that's how I like to see the managing of finances in marriage. Is you know the goal. You should have a clear goal. We, for example, have every year we have a financial review. Every month we make a spreadsheet. But then every year we have goals that we set and things that we want to do. We have a mission plan, a mission statement, which is what we want to achieve as a family and the different aspects of things and how we're going to get there. And for us, that's the needs, that's the rhythm, and whether you know it's that same rhythm. Whether it's that he doesn't have work, now working, they're moving to the same rhythm. Whether it's that he's earning more, I'm earning more, we're moving to the same rhythm. And I found that principle has helped us through different seasons. So seasons where I was earning, he wasn't earning. Or seasons where I wasn't earning, he was earning. Or seasons where they're both earning, for example. It's just, we know the beat, we know the rhythm, we're both moving to it. That's really nice. Amen. Thank you so much for sharing this. So what we're going to do now is we've got a few questions. We've got, I can see 5 questions on there or more. Okay, well, we're going to take 3 or 4 just for the sake of time, so we don't stay too late. And I will start with the oldest question first, the one that came in first. So what do you do? I'll give this to, or anyone can just answer one person per question, just so that we can get through this quickly. What do you do if your spouse is not as spiritual and you feel like you're leaving them behind?
If your spouse is not as spiritual, I suppose the question is, what do we define as spiritual? Sorry, I just want to be clear. Because I suppose that's another thing to watch out for. You see what I mean? Because I've actually seen like situations where I've actually also there's a couple of points myself. It turned out that because they've grown up in 2 different, I suppose, backgrounds, they sort of think differently. And you know, one spouse I think was like, when we get married, you're going to go to work and so earn money or we can support ourselves and lead the life that we want to. And the other one person was like, although, I've always grown up to trust God. My dad, he's a missionary and like we've always just trusted him for everything. So like we're not very like crazy about work as such, because we just believe that God does provide. That principle has worked for us. And we had to step in to say, I hear you, but you've got to make really good points. And actually those points are not divergent, they can come together. Do you see what I mean? So that's why when we clear what we, so one party was not being less spiritual. One party was being pragmatic, the other party was emphasizing faith a bit more, but it doesn't mean that one party was less spiritual. To try and answer the question directly, because I know that many times people ask questions because it's about something that's real. I would say that it is the responsibility of each spouse to bring the other partner along. Does that make sense? And in doing that, we really need to trust God because it's not mechanical. We can't do anything by our own strength and power. That's facts. Also, the reminder, I remind myself, you should remind yourself, we should all remind ourselves that everything that we know is by the grace of God. I tell you that. And when that grace gets taken away, you'll be surprised how unspiritual you can get. Does that make any sense? So, in the fact that you actually feel like I am more spiritual in this moment is actually just the grace of God. I remember years ago, a long time ago, I think I was sort of complaining about like people doing something, yeah? And in my head I was like, what? It's so easy, it's why, and I remember I just went through a season where I found myself doing like the same thing, right? And I was shocked, and I went to God, and God was like, yeah, it was my grace that was holding me in that season. And I had a new sense of humility, one, but also a new sense of understanding, and I started to grow to be able to correct them in love. Does that make sense? So I think we need to be able to support our spouses in love, bring them alongside in love, but also take extra responsibility to make sure that we're holding the ground and holding the fort spiritually until God sort of turns their arm around.
Okay, wonderful. The second question I'm going to ask is, what was one thing, since you're going to someone from here, what was one thing you struggled with your spouse in the first few years of marriage, and how did you overcome it? What was one thing you struggled with and how did you overcome it?
There are many of these questions but it seems like, okay, so I think there's probably two points now. One of them is communication styles. That's the first one. Not only Bible study, and just the motion together. From a communication standpoint, I'm always very personality. I'm always very I'll tell you how I feel. And with me, I don't want to talk out of tongue. That's why I don't say anything. So while she's like, yeah, she's putting out her heart. It's like, okay. And so she gets frustrated like, oh, whenever she does that, at first she's like, you're frustrated. I'm not bouncing off. I'm not giving any feedback. What I'm saying is okay. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because if I say anything at that point in time, so I think for her, it's a lot of patience on her side. I don't know the impact of it, but I think with her, there's a lot of patience on her side, and I would encourage anybody that. So I'm not going to say. Anyway, basically, I just encourage that we just be patient with one another because it's still early days. And that's why, like, when you're building a house, the first thing that you got to do is build the foundation. That takes a lot of work. Then you build everything else on top of that, right? So the first 3 months is going to, yes, there's honeymoon periods and stuff like that. People sometimes go to right, they don't look at the young thing, right? But then they have to go in knowing that okay, we need to adjust. There may be something to adjust. There's some things that I'm seeing now that you don't expect. And we need to work around that together and always do as much as we can to ensure that the person that is playing the spouse see that you're both on the same team and you're doing it together. So with Mo, like I said, she always used to tell me, this thing that we had together all the time and say, I'm not even here. So she'll communicate something, but she'll tell me that she's not in mind. And I'll tell her, okay, this is what I was thinking at the time. This is what I'm thinking right now, but I'm not going to say anything else until later on. The second one was the Bible study one, the honeymoon song. And that one, so on our honeymoon, we opened up First Corinthians 2 together, and I couldn't even get through 2-3 verses, and she was just, just kept interrupting. And I said, maybe we just read the entire chapter to get context, because one thing that grinds my gears is taking a verse, isolating it, and misquoting it. I'm not saying that's what you think, but it's a danger where I've seen that in my gears as a Christian, where other verses is thrown out there, and we add our own interpretation of it to encourage us along the way.
So you're basically calling her a false prophet.
Okay, I'm not saying about that. But basically, that's where I have always been as a believer. So when I said, okay, let's read the entire chapter, please, and get the context. Kid you not, this first day of our honeymoon, she slept. And I thought, okay, maybe she's tired. All right, cool. Day 2, we tried it again, devotion together on our honeymoon. She slept again. And at that point, I just said, like, you know what, she's not doing. We made our way back. I try not to get into that mindset. We got back from our honeymoon, we got it a week later. We tried it again, and it just wasn't working. And prayer just wasn't even worse because she was like, you're not giving me feedback. Because she prayed and the room was vibrating. I prayed and you don't make it talk. So those are the certain things that we clashed with. But what we did have to come to agreement is that we have different races and we see things, we may do things differently, but the goal is still the same. And what we should do is learn to appreciate. So when we're praying, I try to do it. Okay. And when we read the Bible, I have a greater appreciation, especially now, of verse by verse breakdown, right? It's literally teaching and preaching.